Why is it that some people, that often when you're speaking to people, they say, oh, my dua hasn't been answered, you know? This is a common statement by the Muslim brothers and sisters you meet around the place. Why is it that certain supplications perhaps are not answered?
There are certain criteria that are required, and many a time the supplication is rejected because, point number one, maybe the earning is haram. What is eating is haram. Maybe the earnings where he is driving all his lifestyle, maybe his business is haram, maybe involved in riba, usury, interest. He may be dealing in a business which involves bribing, maybe dealing in a business which involves lying, cheating, etc. All these things which are related to the haram things, that's the reason, it is one of the major reasons why supplication is not answered. Number two, maybe he is oppressing someone else, causing oppression to another human being. Number three, he may not be enjoining what is good and may not be forbidding what is wrong, which is a fard in Islam. And there are some other criteria required for a supplication to be accepted, and that's the reason why most of them are rejected. One is that we should not say that, oh Allah, forgive me if you please, oh Allah, bless me if you please, or oh Allah, grant me sustenance if you please. Because the beloved Prophet Muhammad, he said, it's mentioned in Sahih Bukhari, volume number 9, in the book of Tawheed, Hadith number 7477, where the Prophet said that do not supplicate, do not pray by saying that, oh Allah, forgive me if you wish, oh Allah, grant me mercy if you wish, oh Allah, give me from your bounties if you wish. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He does what He wills, and you cannot command Him. So saying such things is totally wrong, which many people do, which is a big mistake. That is the reason the supplications are unanswered. Furthermore, people many a time, they give names to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which Allah never mentioned in the Quran, neither the Prophet used any of the Sahih Hadith. They call Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with attributes and names which are not given by Allah and His Rasul. That is totally wrong while supplicating. Furthermore, many people when they supplicate, they add on many names and many things. For example, they say that please forgive my father, my grandfather, my great-grandfather, my mother, my grandmother, my great-grandmother, my uncle, my auntie, keep on. So it becomes a big list. Instead of that, it's preferable to be brief and say that please forgive my family, or please forgive my relatives, or my brothers and sisters in Islam. That's sufficient. And one of the other mistakes that people make is they normally supplicate very loudly. Very loud supplicate. Where Allah says in the Quran, in Surah Araf, chapter number 7, verse number 55, that ask to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with humility and privacy. Allah says in the next verse in Surah Araf, chapter 7, verse 56, that call to Allah with fear and longingness. So these are the basic mistakes that people make when they supplicate. And furthermore, many a time, when we ask something from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we may follow all the things, but yet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not answer our prayers. Allah says in the Quran in Surah Baqarah, chapter number 2, verse number 216, that you may dislike a thing which may be good for you, and you may like a thing which may not be good for you. Allah knows and you do not know. There may be a situation where a Muslim may pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Ya Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, give me a motorcycle, a BMW. I want a BMW 1000cc. And Allah does not answer his prayer. Because Allah knows that if Allah gives him a BMW, he may go fast, he may have accident, he may fracture his leg. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by not answering his prayer, is actually answering him. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the knower of the unseen, of the future. So you may like a thing which may not be good for you. Allah knows and you do not know.